Well, happy Thursday, everybody. To my friend Grant Miller. Today is National Random Acts of Kindness Day.
That mean you take me to lunch today?
We should have lunch. What are we going to have? Is there something close by?
We'll go to your burger place.
Oh, I love burgers.
Are you going to eat a burger there?
Maybe.
You know,
trying to go out and appreciate and show some love for all of our amazing Burgerlicious participants. And today I'm going to head by Shadow Wagyu.
Wagyu, former poker player. Was he former or still a poker player?
I imagine he still is. And he's also a great basketball player. And
played at what high school?
Christopher Columbus.
Very good.
Thank you so much. I was nervous about that.
So another great burger place, not in Dade County, and not a sponsor.
I like that pen, by the way.
It's yours.
Is that my gift? Is this what you're getting me for Valentine's Day? I know it's like 3 days late.
La Tub. You ever seen La Tub?
Yeah, I know La Tub. It's down south.
No.
I got Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah. What is that? Oh my God! For me, look.
It's a Valentine's
close-up shot for
Pez
me.
Dispenser.
Look at that! Oh my God, he loves.
Because I missed Grant's birthday, which was a few days ago, and then of course I didn't see him on Valentine's Day because we had to reschedule our show.
You were too busy.
Well, unfortunately, I was working on a project with our coalition of chambers and the Census Bureau. So it sort of trumped it. We had about 15, 16 folks at that meeting. So,
what other holiday is it?
I think it's National Cabbage Day.
It is. Very good.
I don't know if that's cabbage or Cabbage Patch.
No, it's Cabbage Day. Didn't say Cabbage Patch.
Tell you a story. When I was in college, I was taking a class called Microbiology. And we had a lab associated with it that was, like a 3-hour lab in addition to lecture. And so they were going to teach us how to make sauerkraut. So sauerkraut is cabbage.
Right.
That has been basically put into kind of a vinegar type solution. But you can also put little microbials in it, which live on the cabbage that help with sort of the synthesization and make it, throw in a little salt, and it basically helps it get more salty and mushy.
Do you eat sauerkraut?
I don't, and I've never really liked it, but it was fascinating for us because when we left it for a week until the next lab, and when we got there, we're like, wow, what does that smell? It's like really strong. And it was our cabbage had basically, thanks to these microbes, become sauerkraut in a week. A little salt, a little vinegar,
sausages,
a little microbe.
When I lived in Milwaukee, sausages were sauerkraut.
Yeah, kraut.
They call it kraut.
Yeah, I think it's very much a part of the German culture, and a lot of Germans settled in Wisconsin, Minnesota when
Chicago.
They emigrated here. And so sauerkraut, I never really got into it. Although as I've gotten a little bit older, I think that's an acquired taste for me. But we actually made it in microclass. So,
George Gonzalez, yes, you text me. I will get back to you.
George,
I forgot.
What is your expectation on when you give a text on a Monday? Is it 12 hours, 24, an hour, 10 minutes?
It should have been an hour. I just blew it.
So, George, if you were a woman of a certain age, that text would have been returned before you even hit send.
So let's talk about today.
Yes.
Great breakfast this morning.
Had a great breakfast. We are back live and in person now since really probably July, even though we've done some scaling in terms of the audience here and there. Grant's opening his Valentine's gift that I got him, which is a heart-shaped Pez dispenser. Does it light up? I bet it doesn't.
All right, so let's talk about the speaker. It was quite interesting. Jane was outstanding.
We had a partnership today that is a longstanding partnership with our friends from the Miami Herald and El Nuevo Herald. And Jane came basically, who isn't new to the Herald, but is new in the role of general manager, Bob McFarland. Bob really, not only manages the Herald and its digital assets regarding technology, but he's also I think the managing director at the Bradenton Herald. So he's got a big job. He's been with the Herald, I think he said since 93. Well, he was with McClatchy, who's the parent company. And I didn't know this, but Jane has been with the Herald for 39 and a half years.
Yes.
So she talked a little bit after him about other things the Herald's doing, all of their assets, some of their new some of their new projects and how they're working really with foundations to really sustain the future of news. When you think about it, we have spent the last maybe 5 to 8 years with this word fake news rattling around in our brains.
Right.
It's been used, in the political arena. It's been used in the social arena, and it's been used, in ways that I don't think people in the publishing and newspaper business, in the news business, ever predicted. So, to their great credit, they have worked to be more transparent, be more engaged, and they're our hometown paper. So you have to be able to trust them. And I love what she said today, that if they make a mistake, they own it.
So I spoke to the GM for a while.
Yes.
He lives
Bob
right,
McFarland. He lives right outside the Gables, right around the corner from here.
Near Fairchild Elementary.
Yeah.
His kids play baseball. His wife's 5'10".
Oh.
Well, how tall is he? 6'5"?
He's exactly my height, so probably 6'3.5".
Okay, so that's very tall for me.
Is it?
Very, very tall.
Are you uncomfortable? Why don't you stand on that Pez? That'll give you a couple of bricks to.
But it was quite interesting, Jane. You speak about. I have to correct you. They are one of the hometown newspapers.
Apologies. Absolutely.
They're the daily. But we talked about.
Gosh, I'm sitting here and literally like punching you in the face.
That's right. I'm used to it.
That's how it is after you get a Valentine's gift.
Right. So, but they were very good. They were gracious. They talked about their social media, and the Herald has had a rebound. I could feel it.
Is that good for you and your business? That people,
yes,
they want, I think, a diversity of thought. I mean, one of the things you and I have talked about, not only on this show, but in our conversations, is that, you're so great at the grassroots relationships. You personally manage a lot of those relationships, not just us, but so many.
I try to manage you every night.
But I know, you're such a community member. But you're also not afraid to throw an op-ed in there and say, listen, City of Coral Gables this, or the FPL this,
or the Tri-Rail,
or the Tri-Rail.
Who didn't resign. He said he resigned. But it's interesting you make this point that the better they do, all newspapers do.
I think so. I mean, you want people to have a faith and a trust that is sort of unimpeachable. I want to be able to pick up the paper. And listen, I was a kid whose dad was in the newspaper business. My dad was a typesetter for the Toledo Blade and worked in that business for 25 years, the Toledo Blade. And when I was growing up, the Toledo Blade had 2 editions a day. It had the main paper and something smaller called the Bulldog edition.
That's for?
And that was, sort of later in the day news, because normally your paper was there first thing in the morning. So my dad would typically go into work at 4 or 5. So we'd see him after, we got home from school, have a very early dinner, and then he would go off and work the overnight. So he was working in typesetting for the morning paper.
So how do you go from the newspaper business into the restaurant business?
So true. A little bit worn out from, the union. They'd been on strike a couple times during his 20 plus years. And listen, that business of typesetting, he lost the majority of his hearing from that because of the loud sound from the breaking of the plates. But, masterful skill. So he cashed out his pension and used that along with some money from my brother, my grandmother, to buy the franchise territory for Wendy's. And that's really what he did. He wanted to work for himself. He was born in 32. They bought the franchise in 75. So, he was 40, 42, 43 when he went to work for himself. Absolutely. We would consider that a very young age
now
today. This was, the mid 70s. So, but that's all those years of toiling at the newspaper, created for him a runway to have money to buy the franchise. And when we moved to Florida, we took 3 newspapers. My dad loved the feel of a newspaper. He loved to hold that. And when Jane said that today, it was very nostalgic for me because he loved that. He didn't mind if his hands got ink on them or got dirty or whatever. But we lived in Melbourne, Florida. So we took the Florida Today.
The sister of USA Today.
Which was the early of the USA Today.
Right.
And because we were subscribers and Gannett published and printed there in Melbourne, we got the USA Today, like a package. And he took the Orlando Sentinel, which was a little bit more of a statewide, reported more on statewide politics and, the economy and things like that. And on Saturdays, one of our chores was to recycle the papers. But my father never allowed us just to, put them in the trash or put them in like a paper bag. We had to put them back together. We had to reassemble. So that's easy on Monday through Thursday, right? When it's basically,
one section.
Front page section, maybe local, sports, maybe, some type of, arts section. You get the Friday and the weekend page. You get to Saturday and Sunday.
I was wondering why you were so OCD. So it was your father with the newspaper business.
You just put everything back together. And in a week's time, when you're taking 3 papers, and my dad reveled in every word. So
wow. And where do you get that? Aren't you a little like him?
I think when it comes to enjoying the news and reading things, one of the reasons that I think I enjoy our relationship is that maybe I took it one step further and I saw the opportunity to, to write. I'm more comfortable.
Speak about, you have not wrote a column in a while.
I haven't. Morgan, do we have something in the can?
Let's see if there's comments. By the way, your arms are so big now. Let's talk about that.
I think that is always big. Are you saying they're more firm? I feel like they are. Why don't you give that a touch?
Ooh.
Yes, our producer and sometimes luncheon provider here. This is Junior. He's coming over. He's going to give me all right, because I've gained 6 pounds of muscle in a month.
Damn.
Some work to do.
I like that, Junior. All right, so let's talk about your workouts.
Yeah. Can I tell you something funny that happened the other day?
Absolutely.
So we had our theater night last week, and we took about 60 or so folks to see On Your Feet, the story of Gloria and Emilio. Great show, by the way. Go check it out. Barbara Stein and company, David Arisco and company have put together an incredible show that has, been on Broadway, toured the United States, and is now here, first time in the market, running for the next couple of weeks. So we went to the last preview night, had a nice crowd. We brought 60 folks. So, they had a little food that our friends at Sergio's did for us. Thank you very much to the Gazituas. And they're a great member of ours. And so I had gotten there a little bit late because I had gone to an event beforehand. And so, I'm just chatting with a couple of our members, and we're partnered with Fem City and with the BID and with the Gay and Lesbian Chamber. So there are a couple ladies that are working the bar that the Gay and Lesbian Chamber put out. So I'm just talking to Amy Bloom, and this man comes up, and I'm holding a plate that has an empanada on it, little baby one. And I eat it, and I'm starving because, long day, right? And the guy says, "Aren't you on a diet?" I'm like,
who is this guy?
I don't know. He's one of our guests because he's wearing one of our name tags, but it's not someone I recognize or I've ever talked to.
Excuse me, I just lost 100 pounds.
So no, I said to him, I'm sorry, sir, do we know each other? Because listen, between this show and my personality and obviously the role at the chamber, I'm pretty open to talk about any topic, any discussion topic. And so I was like, wow, I had no idea. I'm like, do we know each other? And then I think he felt a little sheepish. And he says, well, you're doing a good job. And I said, thank you. And then I go like this, good save. So we figure out who he is. And Erica tells me that she thinks he said something because I talk about working out on your show. And so people feel
I work out not as hard as you do.
Comfortable. My favorite muscle group to work out. Oof. So I like doing shoulders, and I like doing arms. Typically the trainer, because I go twice a week, we do kind of a leg day, which is my least favorite.
Right. Of course.
And then we do more of a chest, shoulders. And then there's always a couple of crossovers.
But don't you love when you go to the gym, and especially men, they got all the muscles from here up and their legs are this big? You never know.
I'm sure there's probably some guys like that. There's this one guy, and he's there every day when I'm there, which is I'm there 4 days a week. So I'm assuming he's there 6 or 7, and he's very quiet. He doesn't really talk, but we're on the exact same schedule. Like we're arriving at the same time. We're working out on the floor at the same time, and then I see him in the locker room after, as we're heading off to work. So, but his arms are huge, and he's probably late 20s, maybe 30 at most. And I'm thinking, no matter how much I work out, my arms will never look like that, because he just has the age where he's so toned.
Yeah, and
Did you talk about your muscle group? I think we know what your muscle group is.
Okay,
I'm sure it's on you. It's on somebody else.
Okay, I work my neck. Really, I work my mouth the most.
Yes.
That's why I go to a gym now that I don't know anybody. All right, let's move on
Why?
to the next.
Because sometimes my friend Denise would see you.
Really?
Did you go to LA Fitness at one time?
I go to LA Fitness.
She sometimes sees you there. She says you're always wearing like a lot of layers.
Yes.
Are you trying to like sweat it out like the toxins?
No, I know. I just don't. I like wearing a long sleeve shirt all the time.
Are you hiding something?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, something really important in your family. Your nephew just got a new job.
He did. We went out to Lincoln's Beard on last Friday to celebrate both President Lincoln's birthday and to celebrate his new job. And so we're really excited for him, very proud of him. And
thanks for the invite.
Well, I went with my niece
and
with her brother who was in town. And the brownie lady that I love from Bauza Brownies was there doing a pop-up. They had little Valentine brownies. And so I got a little heart-shaped one with a Ferrero Rocher on it, which is kind of like, I guess it's kind of like a hazelnut. The audience wants to know what LA Fitness you go to.
I go to anyone. I go to South Miami.
Are you afraid people might stalk you and find you there?
I go to South Miami and I go to Bird Road. Okay, let's talk about the Super Bowl.
So, a decent game, pretty close most of the game. I will tell you, I was rooting for the Bengals because I'm from Ohio.
Everybody rooting for the Bengals.
And, Evan McPherson kicked 2 great field goals. And I kept thinking, there's a minute 30 left when LA scored. I mean, the reality is they went for it on first and goal like 5 times. That ate up so much of the clock. You're almost like, do we let them score?
And that's what they knew that.
And then we go down, and the worst we have to do is kick a field goal. And we got the best guy in the postseason, doing the kicks, Evan. So I don't know if you saw this, but when the halftime show was going on, Evan didn't go to the locker room.
No.
He sat on the sidelines and watched the show.
Why?
I thought he was just really into 50 Cent or, the whole group. Apparently, he never goes to the locker room at halftime. It's like his superstition. Excited to think so.
Well, it's exciting. The LA Stadium is beautiful.
George is asking about yoga. I'm not sure which plaza you mean, George. Are you talking about the McBride Park that's next to Well-Groomed Gentlemen there?
Well,
the city typically oversees that. They used to do that program, but I think they stopped due to COVID.
Okay, so no, Junior, we won't work out with you.
But Junior's like motivating. See, he would motivate me.
Okay, Coconut and Grove Art Festival is this weekend. Are you excited?
It's this weekend. I am excited. Yeah, I'm going to try to go probably, I don't know, on Monday. It's always some cool stuff there. And
why? Because that's the last day?
Last day, and it's not as busy. A lot of folks are back at work, and sometimes the artists are like, hey, man, I'm moving this. It's, 20%.
I don't want to take it home. Right.
Yeah, I'm going to another show, or I'm, I got to ship this.
I got to make a sale.
There used to be a real circuit where the arts festival was kind of one of many. It started with Beaux-Arts. Then people might go up to Del Rey. I think people went over to Naples, maybe Sarasota. There was like that whole like Southern Florida swing.
I love St. Stephen's. They do their own art festival.
They've been doing that for years.
Is it great?
Do you think that's irritating to Monty?
I don't know, but it's brilliant by St. Stephen's.
They don't have to do any
marketing,
promotion or publicity. So.
Right. I think, you go to the art festival every year?
Typically, I have gone every year. Obviously, they didn't have it in 2021, but I had gone in 2020 with my niece and nephew, who were not living here at the time. They just happened to be in town for the weekend, and then we went together, and we had a great time. And my friend Francesca went, and
so I hear Grease is coming to town.
Grease?
Is that true?
There was a movie, Grease.
No, Art Cinema.
Yes, it played on Tuesday night, one night only.
That's it?
That's it. One night only.
Why?
So Sarah and I went, and she sang through the whole show.
Who's Sarah?
Sarah Artacona. So she's like, "Look at me, I'm Sandra D." I can't see the rest of it because it gets a little
tough.
cheeky.
Okay. What events do we have next week?
So next week is just the end of our month, and we've got a board meeting, and then we're leading into March, which will be very, very busy. So,
by the way, Tuesday was it? What's today?
Today
Tuesday.
is
Yeah, Tuesday, Thursday. How can I join you in the art festival? Who's that?
The art festival runs Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and like I said, I'm planning to go. Probably on Monday, I'm going to work out, maybe have breakfast with my friend Lily, and then off to the art festival. I do.
Well, I think it's directed to me. So Neil, you can join me anytime. Okay. And we have what's the other?
And George, I'm not sure if you're asking Grant or you're asking me. We do not have a booth.
No. Okay. You had an event Tuesday. Great speaker.
We did Women's Business Network luncheon. We worked with our friends at UHealth for Heart Health Month, which is all of February, and we had a doctor come in and talk about the ravages of hypertension on your body, on your long-term health, what causes it, what you can do to alter it, not only in terms of your diet and exercise, but stressful environment, etc. So
it was Tuesday, Wednesday, nothing tomorrow.
Tomorrow is a quiet day.
Wow,
is that okay with you?
Yeah. Small business.
And Monday, of course, is President's Day. So
small business summit coming up.
It's in May. Yep.
And you got the DC flying.
April.
Is it happening?
We are hopeful. Right now, we've got 6 or 8 folks that are interested in going. We're still working through kind of a hotel block and our schedule, and we're having to work with the members because some of them are not in their offices every single day. So we may meet with them off-site at the hotel or at a restaurant.
It's
which
nice.
is great. Which is easier for security reasons.
Right.
So we're still pivoting to that to some degree. We did that when I was in Tallahassee last week. Most were in their offices, but not everybody.
Which congressman will you be meeting with? Marie Salazar?
We'll be seeking appointments with Congresswoman Salazar, Congressman Jimenez, Congressman Diaz-Balart. I'm going to ask Raul if there's an opportunity to meet with Congresswoman Wasserman Schultz, just because she's a significant player in the majority party. There's a new member of Congress that replaced Alcee Hastings. There's a possibility there. Representative Frederica Wilson, potentially, because she's got some legislation that interests us in terms of youth and families and education. So I think probably the 2 senators, and then we'll meet with the U.S. Chamber and a couple of other partners.
So I saw Congressman Jimenez yesterday.
Yeah,
he was presenting a certificate of appreciation to Carrie Black
and her husband.
Yeah, they came in town.
How did that go?
Well, it was a 45-minute drive.
It is Homestead.
But I had to go early because I didn't want to catch the 4:00 traffic. So I left early. So now I'm there at Homestead 40 minutes early. So what do? Good point. I went to Sonny's.
Yes.
Had a barbecue, had chicken, had ribs.
Did you spill anything on yourself?
No, because I ate like this.
Yes, good call.
And then Jimenez was the city.
Did they have a nice turnout?
Yes.
Because that's, she was very nice to invite me. And I just say I apologize, Carrie, but getting there on a Wednesday at 5 was not in the cards. We had an event.
3 hours. But, Julio.
And I'm really glad that the congressman did that.
Yeah, Julio Guzman presented something to him.
Vice mayor of
Homestead.
And were they having a regular commission?
Yeah, they had a commission meeting after.
Oh, okay.
They presented awards to the Steeler team. What's going on over there?
Our dear friend is on the other side of that glass window.
Oh.
Which is required by law when you're around.
Oh, okay.
It's like a restraining order.
Restraining order. So it was outstanding. I know you are a big fan of Carrie Black.
Carrie, I've gotten to work with 5 different leaders in Homestead in my tenure. So it started with Mary Finnegan, then Rosa Brito, then Skip Alford.
Well, it wasn't Erica's. You mentioned that it was Erica.
Yeah, Rosa. That's Erica's mom. Skip, of course, who had come from the Panhandle.
And he skipped.
Obviously Carrie,
I skipped with.
and now you have Les.
How long he was Skip was here? A real short period of time.
Probably about a year.
Yeah, Homestead's an interesting animal. All right.
It's always tough to come from the outside community into a very hyper local chamber. I would say, had the chamber chosen to hire somebody from outside Greater Miami when I was hired, it may have been difficult. And I think if it's a larger chamber where your overarching goals are things like advocacy, maybe lobbying, maybe you have a PAC, maybe you have a foundation, that may be easier to integrate. But if much of the work you do, like I do, is about meeting people, relationships, either you're committed to doing that on hyperblast the first 6 months to a year, or it's not going to work. You can't be isolated.
Local. We got.
Yes.
Speak about local. So you had Impact. I didn't get to go there yesterday because I was in Homestead. How'd that go?
Nice group. Got to feature one of our members, really about transforming your business into the digital age. I think we had around 25, 30 folks.
That's all you wanted.
Yeah, with our small business seminars, the focus really is on SMEs. And so
what's SME?
Small and medium enterprises. So we want to have, a group that, one, can be more conversational, and two, have the opportunity to really walk away with a plan for their business. Today we're talking 30,000 foot, what's happening with, a major media outlet, right? And what the future is. And so that's really what we do, is that I think our programming runs the gamut. And so everything we do is for every member, but there may be some things that people are more connected to. I was hosting today a prospective member who has an insurance agency, and she's also chairing the Femfessionals committee here in Miami. So she's got a lot on her plate, but we connected and she's like, boy, I really enjoyed this. And one, I'm always appreciative of feedback, good, bad, or otherwise, but I also want people to see value. And the value is the relationships that we leverage. Every chamber has a different type of programming, but I hold our programming out to anybody in terms of how we think strategically and how we target members that come in all shapes and sizes.
Large, small, gotcha.
And medium.
Okay, so we got,
or in your case, schmedium.
Instagram climbing up 6,200.
Yeah, we had a great week last week, and I guarantee you the number's higher than that because I forgot to change it. But what Christine and Morgan are telling me is that, by us using, more reels, so filming and using reels, things like you do, it really drives the audience. So we're going to keep doing that.
Trustees, got new trustees this month?
We have one new one, and I think Jennifer's working on a couple more to close before the end of the month. So we've got about, what's 4, 5, 6 days left in the month.
I'm so used
February short, comes and goes quick.
I was so used to be doing a 3:00 show, and right now I'm thinking, what am I going to do? I got to go back to work
at 1:00.
Yeah.
Well, I have a bunch of meetings today.
Like who? Who do you have meetings with?
I've got to stop by Shadow Wagyu, of course, and pick something up, check in on those guys. Then I have Sarah Artacona coming with the Miami Center for Architecture and Design. And they're going to be, they're our partner in our walking tour. And we've got a walking tour in about a week and 2 days. I forgot to mention that. That's at the end of next week, in addition to our board meeting. So
wow. Well, Coral Gables Chamber Breakfast, again, was outstanding. I enjoyed everybody there. There's so many new faces. It's exciting.
Yeah, again, I have the opportunity to attend what other chambers do. And while they all, I think, do a fine job, it's sort of a critical approach. I work closely with Erica and the team to make sure that, if you're going to come and spend an hour with us, it isn't the $25. It's the time is worth 10 times that much. Getting there at 7:30, 7:45 in the morning, being there till 9 a.m., feeling like I've gotten some value. And here's how I know where the value is. The room is quiet. The room is full. And afterwards, people come up and want to engage with Jane or with Raymond or with Bob. They want to engage.
It was interesting. A lot of questions. And I noticed a lot of people stayed longer to speak to them.
Yeah, I think the upside to that is, again, just value. I look at other programming because a lot of chambers just naturally send me their evites. And, there are times where I'm like, oh, that's an interesting fit. Like I saw one today from another chamber that is bringing in a young guy who's going to be like the next CEO of his family company. So he's been groomed for this role. And I don't know Andrew, but I know his dad, Keith. And
What
I think it's
chamber?
a great idea. It's a
What
Greater Miami Chamber.
Oh.
So I thought it was a cool idea. And so there are things where I'm like, that's very interesting. You know, today, one of our past chairs approached me and he said, you know, I'm really close with the new FIU head football coach. And I said, oh, great. And I said, I'm friends with their new AD. He goes, you are? I said, yeah, he worked with me at the Orange Bowl. And we've known each other for 20 years. And now he's the athletic director. He went away to Auburn and other places. And he's a Gator like I am. Right. So, you know, he connected us. And then I, you know, connected Scott in. And it was a great conversation because maybe that's an opportunity for us. I think it's always obvious that we, you know, do certain things, but that would be a different angle.
Oh, absolutely. By the way, Community Newspapers has Ralph Coutier
to 22
on the 2nd February.
How's the crowd for that?
Always good.
I know it's always good. We're going down to Evelyn Greer Park.
Evelyn Greer Park that has a banquet room inside.
And Giuseppe's going to cater it.
Anna Capri, Giuseppe's catering it. I got to remind him. But it's all exciting.
Want to switch up the menu a little bit? Could I get like a thing of meatballs on the side?
I'll tell him.
I love his meatballs.
Oh, I do too. The meatballs.
What best. A lovely gentleman. And I have to tell you, it's heartbreaking that they left the Gables a number of years ago.
Well, nice restaurant went in. Now
a lovely Italian restaurant called Porto Sole, also a member of ours, went in there and they've done a great job.
They kick butt.
They do. But you know, something about seeing Joe, and it was just really nice to.
Well, that's why
I would do a lot of events there, meetings. Good price and good food.
I go to Anna Capri 3 to 4 times a week. Sometimes I eat just to.
We have a lot of Italian in Coral Gables, so it tells you that people love the fare. So, you know, obviously, you know, we think about our friend Nino Pernetti and Cafe Abraci, but you've also got great places like Zucca down the street from them, and of course, we mentioned Porto Sole.
And don't forget Cheesecake Factory.
Salumeria.
Cheesecake Factory.
Salumeria 104. How about you know, Bugatti? How about Forte? I went there for a little pre-Super Bowl party. And
really?
Rodney Beretta was nice enough to invite me, and I got to run into
what happened to me? I don't get invited.
Usually at 4:30 you're napping.
Oh,
because you're going to be up late, and I don't want you being cranky. But Adrian, I don't even know how to say this, but they passed out a pizza.
The pizza's the best there. Unbelievable.
It was like a really crispy crust, sausage, pepperoni. Like, I was embarrassed that I wanted to go back for a second slice. Well, I did not, but it was insane. So on the way out, I said to the hostess, I said, tell me something. Is the pizza on the menu every day? And she's like, every day. Every day.
All right. So thank you. I'll take your invite.
Yes, Morgan Giummani by Fratellino. Forgot about our friends at
look at that, Morgan.
Fratellino.
Look how cute she looks there.
What is that?
That's her and her husband.
That's not her.
Yes, it is.
Can you make that bigger? Where's she writing us through Facebook?
Yeah.
See, I don't do social media with my employees.
Oh.
So
and she asked you to bring a burger back too.
Well.
All right, we got to wrap it up.
She's a hungry one, that one.
We got to wrap it up. It's another great day. I'm starving. I'm not used to this.
You want to lay down?
No,
you ate all of that Pez. You gave me 2, 3.
I didn't eat all of them. I got some here.
Oh, you got some. You didn't even put them in the dispenser.
No, I'm saving this. This is going to be my heart. All right.
I left my heart.
Junior, can we have some music?
In San Francisco. Oh. I didn't do very well in that. Are you watching the Olympics?
No. What song do you want to hear?
You know what song I want to hear?
Go ahead.
I want to hear Fire in the Rain by Adele. Set fire to the rain. Are you watching any Olympics? I stayed up too late last night because, you know, it's breakfast day.
Right.
And I stayed up till 1:40 to watch the hockey. The women broke my heart losing twice to Canada. The boys are out. Michaela Schifrin fell again.
I don't.
I should just do what my nephew.
Is it real snow?
It's not the powder
You're right.
expect. A lot of it, certainly the base is man-made.
This is your song.
This is Adele. Skinny Adele.
Right.
She's my inspiration.
Let's wrap it.
Never knew. Junior, do you play this song around your ladies? No. Junior doesn't want me to talk about women on the air. He wants to seem available.
Hey, you want to wrap it? You want me to? You got it.
I got it today. So thanks for joining us on a Thursday. We will be back in our regular schedule next week. I'll be with Grant at lunchtime and then back here at 3 in the afternoon. Cannot believe that we are halfway through February.
It's exciting.
It is exciting. But next Tuesday is 2/22/22. That'll never happen again. So
No.
we're going to take that to the bank. We'll have a great show. We'll be talking all about March. February kind of zipped by us, and
Well,
we had some good things happen to us. We had some things that were a little bit of a kick in the keister, but it only makes us stronger and
stronger and better.
sets our sights. And that's what you want out of your chamber. You want a chamber that's devoted to you. You want a chamber leader that's there when you need him, not standing at Starbucks getting a coffee every day and having his hair blown out. So spend some time with us, get to know our chamber, and most importantly, support local, shop local, be local. Have a great day, everybody.
Have a great day.